Wearing my
You seem to be all right with it.
Yeah.
Why?
Why are you doing that for?
It's just that Rosemary's been telling me.
Because it's part of
He's
life.
having a bit of trouble.
Yeah, showing me without my shirt on. I didn't show your boobies.
No, I wouldn't be working it.
You want me to show No. My mom's view of the world. There's a bird feeder with a squirrel in it. Little rascal.
Kids, I'd like to talk to you. Sure. All right, miss.
He's making himself at home there. I was asking Mom about World War II because she was in junior high at the time and was asking her about ration books, and she said that it was urged for people to pay into war bonds at the time, and then sometimes you'd pay a quarter at a time till you have what, $20 or $25 saved up, something like that.
Yeah.
And people did with what they had. They didn't buy fancy stuff or
And gasoline was rationed too. And my dad had a C stamp, so he could get more gas.
Is that because he was a policeman?
A constable. Anyway, we got what, we only got just so much gas at a time. So you don't go taking on a joyride.
No joy rides, yeah.
You just enough gas. After a long time, well, then we had long rides. He could only get a couple of gallons each time.
Well, I remember in the 70s they had the gas shortage where your license plate, if it ended in an even number, you could only get gas on certain days and odd number different days. But yeah, your rationing was much worse.
Yeah.
They had stamps for food,
you know what?
and
you had, not that you had to use toilet paper, but we had to pay taxes on it, on a toilet paper. We got our addresses and we had so many stamps, but we had to buy stamps with our toilet paper. Of all the things you can use, people have to use toilet paper.
yeah.
But we had to buy toilet paper.
What was the hardest part of living during World War II? What was the hardest part? Richard! Richard's watching something on his phone.
The hardest thing was, I guess, you were had to be careful how you spent your stamps. Because you only got an A. I mean A, B, and C, but we only got a regular family. We got enough for the two of us. I mean, since there was
Your mom and dad, and then you and your brother and sister.
Yeah.
That's 5 people.
Then we got the A stamps. But my dad was a constable, and he got C stamps, which are a little bit more. In the time my mother was in with my Uncle John in Pittsburgh, and Jim, well, he had couples. We had 3, 4 big cans, which would be a no-no now, in gasoline that had in the trunk.
Oh.
So we went from Williamsport to Philadelphia, or to Pittsburgh, where my Uncle John, and we had enough. When we got my dad, we got some couple of stamps for him, and Jim got friend had his cousin or somebody. He got some stamps, so we had enough stamps to go up and pick my mother up and bring her home.
Well, here's a good question for you. Since your maiden name, your name was Hornberger, and it is a German name, and since the Nazis and all that are German, were you treated any differently having a German ancestry?
No.
No? Because you were here and you were American, so it didn't mean anything.
I was born when my mom and dad were 20.
Yeah.
20.
But you were in like junior high during World War II.
Not when I was born.
Oh no, you weren't that old yet. 26.
I was born.
36, you were 13 years old when the war started in 1939.
But yeah, well, we started saving those balls of tin foil, and we had.
They would save scrap metal and tin foil and things, and they would save it and they would melt it down and use it for the war effort. And you said that you remember when the war was over, how people would ride around in the cars and honk their horns and.
Yeah, in the square.
In the square downtown where she lived.
Well, we were all happy. Everybody was happy. The whole town was down there, and you never had any of this fights and all that kind of stuff.
Do you think all the monkey shines that's going on in the government today is terrible?
Yes.
That people should stick together, and why fight each other? It's so stupid.
Well, you see, we did, and of course my dad was, because he had, I think there's three of us by then. My dad was 35, and he didn't have to go to war. If he would have had only wanted one or something, he would have had to go 2.
Oh, yeah, they were.
But he was.
He had 3 children, so he didn't have to go to war.
You know, he was 20, and he was 35, and at 35 you had to go.
Yeah.
At that time, except he didn't have to because I had the cars, and then he worked at the Lycoming Motors later, and that's when they made the motors and things. You could hear them all over the town.
Lycoming was the county you lived in, right? Lycoming Motors.
Lycoming County. And they made the motors for, I don't know, airplanes, whatever they had, and they would test them, and you could hear them. You know, way down, we were on Market Street, and
Mom grew up in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is kind of hilly, mountainous state, and you could probably hear it echo quite a bit through there.
And Williamsport is in the valley.
Oh, okay.
Mountains all around us.
Cool. Well, thank you for your memories and your information. The only way I will watch fireworks these days on TV. Spent a few hours with Mom. We watched James Cagney and Yankee Doodle Dandy. We watched Shallow Hal, which I took over there. And I forgot I didn't turn the light on for the cat, so he was kind of scared. And I don't like all this. I kind of have a PTSR thing. Like PTSD, but it repeats. And because my circumstances in my life, being held at gunpoint a lot, being threatened a lot by an ex-husband, so no fun. No fun. So I'm sitting here drinking some moose drool from Missoula, Montana. It's brown ale, and it's not too bad actually. I already had one yesterday. I just may drink more than one tonight. I don't know, depends. And I have a bag of reduced guilt chips from Trader Joe's. I know, the worst things that I could have, the worst things I could ingest. The cat and I are going to sit and comfort each other. So I spent some time with Mom, and I tried asking her about World War II, and she's 91, so the words aren't always coming to her mouth as she wants them to. And my brother watching stuff on his phone, and it has to be center of attention too, so it's kind of tough. Took my computer and I showed her Brian and Ashley's new puppy, Clover. And showed a bunch of things on YouTube. A bunch of my friends and my family of friends. And unfortunately, one of them is no longer with us. Tiger TB. I don't know what happened yet. I'm sure I'll find out. He was a songwriter. He's up there with the stars tonight. And, yeah, well, I'm going to try to get this put together in some sort of fashion. I know it won't make a whole lot of sense, and it'll probably be a lot longer than I want it to be. But, yeah. Tomorrow is working back at that room, trying to get it sorted, and Saturday is supposed to be cool, so I'm waiting until Saturday to do the yard work stuff. Maybe the guy that can come and help can do it Saturday too, so I don't know. Maybe I'll do some mowing before then. I don't know. So we'll see. Upward and onward.